Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me for today's at-home full body Pilates workout. Today we're going to be sculpting our abs, arms, glutes, and thighs. You're not going to need any equipment. This routine does include a warm-up and a cool down, so you're going to feel incredibly strong and well stretched after completing it. So with all of that in mind, let's go ahead and get right into our warm-up. You can kneel, stand, or sit with your legs crossed. We're going to lift up through the spine, stacking the vertebrae one on top of the other. The shoulders are down, the neck is long, and the chin is parallel with the floor. We're going to begin with some shoulder rolls to mobilize the shoulders by bringing them up by the ears and rolling them down and back. Lift those shoulders and melt them down and back. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. As you draw those shoulders down and back, lengthening up through the crown of the head as you do so, breathing in and slowly exhaling out for 3 and 2, waking up those shoulders, and last 1. Amazing work. I'm going to turn and face the end of my mat. You can be kneeling, standing, or remain with your legs crossed. We're going to lift the arms up, palms facing forward, pull the elbows down, opening through the chest and growing tall up through the crown of the head. Lower the hands, sweep the right arm back and forward, sweep the left arm back, rotating around the spine, and then lift those arms and pull those elbows down. Good. Continuing to mobilize the shoulders as we pull back on that right side and the spine. Good. Looking out over the shoulder as we pull back, lifting and pulling elbows down. Amazing work. Lower hands, sweep back, stretch through the neck as you look over the shoulder. Sweep back. Good work. Hands come up and elbows pull down. Let's do one more set. Really twist and rotate through the spine, stretching and lengthening through those fingers, and up. Pull down, bring the hands up, and lower the hands down to the mat. Bring the wrists below the shoulders, the knees below the hips. From here, we're going to drop the belly, bringing the gaze up, and then we're going to round through the spine, creating space between each of the bones. Good. Inhale, drop the belly, bring the gaze up. Exhale, round through the spine. Good, let's add that core engagement. So we're arching and then we're drawing the navel in toward the spine as we breathe out to round. Inhale, drop the belly, relax the abdominals. Exhale, vacuum the belly button up toward the spine as you round and stretch. Good, for 3. Pulling belly button in, and 2. Contracting that navel. And last 1, round, and then bring the spine back into neutral. From here, we're going to curl the toes, and we're going to continue to lift that abdominal wall as we hover the knees up off the floor. So inhale here, exhale, broaden through those shoulders, lift the knees and hover, drawing navel in, and then lower down, inhale, good. Exhale, draw navel in, nice tight core, broad shoulders, and lower, good. Lift those knees so the shins are parallel with the mat, and lower. Let's go for, lift abdominal wall. For 3, lifting and tightening that core. For 2, and final 1, we're going to hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Drop down onto your left forearm. Extend your right leg out on a diagonal. Lengthen through the spine. Lift that right leg. Bend it in. Circle the knee and extend. Circle the knee in toward the body and extend out long on a diagonal. Good. Keep the spine long. Mobilizing the hip, stretching the leg, and soften the leg down. Bring the knee below the hip and switch sides. Dropping onto that right forearm, extending left leg out long, lifting, bending, circling in and extending, bending, circling in and extending, mobilizing the hip joint, stretching and lengthening for 2, and last 1, lower knee, take both knees down to the mat, take them nice and wide, and push back into child's pose. Stretching and lengthening for 3, and 2, and 1. Amazing work. Now from here, we're going to transition down onto the mat for our abdominal work. So we're lowering down 1 vertebrae at a time, and we're going to take the hands behind the head, stretching and lengthening through those fingers. Palms are facing up toward the ceiling. From this position, we're going to inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to sweep the arms to the sides, engaging the core, lifting head so it rests on top of shoulders. Inhale to lower, exhale, curl up, engaging abdominal wall, flattening low back to the mat. Good, lower and lift. Hold with tension on the abs before inhaling and lowering down. Reach toward the end of the mat with those fingers as you really start to warm up the abdominal wall here. Switching on that core engagement. Good. For 2. And final 1. Reach and hold. Nice work. Now we're going to move between a bridge and a crunch. So we're curling and crunching up, then lowering, elevating the hips, keeping the tailbone tucked, and bringing the hands by the sides. Good. Lower, curl and crunch up, bum stays down. Reach back, lift up, and bring the hands down. Good. Crunch. And bridge up, engaging the back body, imagining a corset tightening around your midsection as you tuck that tailbone and lift those hips. Amazing. Tighten the core and lift, engaging as you do so. Good. And bring it up. Nicely done. Not lifting the hips so high that you're overarching the spine, keeping everything contracted and tight, engaging that pelvic floor as well as the abdominal wall as you lift and hold. Good. Last set. Curl up. And lift into your bridge. Hold it here, belly to spine for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great work. Now from here, we're going to bring the legs into tabletop as we curl and crunch up. So inhale here, exhale, bringing the legs to tabletop, then softening feet to the floor, head, neck, and shoulders. Really tightening through the center of your abs as you hinge up from the hips. Good. Resting your head on top of your shoulders and looking out between your inner thighs. Let's go 5. Pressing low back into the mat. Last 3. Peeling those shoulder blades up off the mat for 2. And final 1, curling crunch up and lower down, taking your hands behind your head, fingers interlaced. Supporting your head in your hands, we're going to lift both legs into tabletop. And as we extend the right leg out long, we're going to tap the heel down to the mat. And as we lift back into tabletop, we lift up into a crunch. So lower left heel down to the mat, and curl and crunch up. Good. Right heel and curl and crunch up. So keep those elbows nice and wide. Tightening the core and flattening the low back to the mat as you curl up. Good. Full extension of the leg. Heel softly taps down, toes are pointed. For 4. 3, you're doing so well, stick with it. For 2, and final 1. Amazing work. Just bring the knees in toward the chest, relax head, neck, and shoulders down. We're now going to go into some knee tap extensions. You can do the easier option, which looks like this, elbows and knees tap. Then you lower your feet to the floor and repeat, keeping the legs squeezing together the whole time. If you want the harder variation, you're going to tap and then extend the legs long between each tap. Good. Tap and extend. So pick your level of challenge and move into it, tapping those knees and extending the legs or lowering feet to the floor. Good. Really scooping those abs in as you bring the knees and elbows together. Trying your best to pick your tailbone up off the mat as well, so you're working those lower abs. Whew. Abs are burning here. We're working hard, building that core strength for 2. And final 1. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your legs down to the mat. Amazing work. Okay, now we're going to get into position to work our obliques. So I'd like you to come down onto your left forearm. Knees are stacked, ankles are stacked, hips are stacked. We're going to really pick that lower hip up off the floor, keeping the chest nice and open, taking the hand behind the head. From here, we're going to lift up into a side crunch for 1, 2, tightening the belly in toward the spine, 3, 4, and 5. Then we're going to hold it there, extending top leg, extending arm, and tapping. 1, keeping that lower hip really lifted, keeping that core tight. 3, nice work. 4, and 5, amazing work. Hand comes behind the head, back into those side crunches. 1, lift a little higher for 2, keeping that chest nice and open. Hold it there, extend top leg and bend, crunching it in, cinching in that waistline. Good. And 5, amazing. Lower down for 1, 2, lift a bit higher, 3, abs in, 4, and 5, extend. Pull it in. Lift that lower hip as high as you can. Navel contracts in toward the spine. Last one, 5. We're going to hold it there. Extend and lengthen through fingers and toes and pulse it up for 10, 9, 8. Lift a bit higher. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing work. Now we're going to lower down onto the side body and switch our focus to our glutes and thighs before we repeat on the other side with those obliques. So we're picking the legs up together, hinging forward, coming into a pike, placing the opposite hand down on the mat for stability. Head is resting on the hand or the outstretched arm. We're going to lift the top leg up, tap it in front of the lower leg, and then lift it up and tap it behind the leg. Good. Lift up and over. Lift up and over. So lengthening through that big toe, really anchoring down through that lower leg. So the lower leg muscles are really switched on here too, so we're not wobbling around in the torso as we move forward and backward. Lengthening and lifting, keeping those toes pointed, keeping all the muscles in the leg engaged. Core is tight here too, helping with stability as well as core strength as we tap forward and backward for 2 and final 1. Amazing work. Now from here, we're going to bend that top leg, tap the knee down to the mat, then arch that knee over and tap the toe down behind the lower leg. So forward and arc up and back. Forward and come back, tapping the toe. Now, as you come back to tap the toe, I don't want you to roll back in your hips. So it's a small range of movement. Those hips stay stacked as you tap forward and tap back with your big toe and your knee. Good. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's go 5. Relax those shoulders down away from your ears. 3. Working deep into the gluteus medius. Last 1. And we're going to tap forward and then extend. Tap forward and extend. You've got this. Glutes are on fire here. Amazing work. We've got 10, 9, 8. Keep it up. Relax those shoulders. For 6. Full extensions with that leg. 3, 2, final 1. We're going to come out and hold and pulse up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I know it's tough. So close to being finished on this side. And lower down. Amazing. I hope you felt those gluteus medius muscles firing. I know I sure did. Okay, let's move over and do the other side. So we're coming onto that right forearm, stacking the hips, knees, and ankles, keeping the chest nice and open as we prepare for those side crunches. So we're lifting up, lifting that hip, making any little adjustments you need to for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Extend arm and leg. Ooh, plants in the way. For 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep that lower hip lifted. And 5. Amazing work. 1, 2, 3. Lift a bit higher. 4 and 5. Extend. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hand behind the head. Lift. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And reach and extend. You can do it. 4 and 5. Hold it there and pulse it up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Hold and relax it down. Whew, that was challenging. Okay, extending through the legs, piking forward, bringing those legs slightly forward, placing your hand down on the mat for stability, supporting your head, lifting the top leg and arcing it back. Lifting the top leg and sending it back. Good, pointing through those toes, anchoring down through that lower leg so we're not rocking around. We're isolating this work in the glutes and thighs of that top leg. Hips are working here too. Nicely done. You're doing so well. Keep those shoulders relaxed. Keep breathing through the movement. Really pick that leg up as you rainbow it from one side to the other. Amazing work. Let's go 3. And final 1. And lower down. Great. Now bending that top knee, tapping it to the mat and arcing it up, tapping behind. Tapping forward, tapping behind. Tapping the knee down, lifting it up and over. Keeping those shoulders relaxed as you concentrate on this move. Sometimes when we're thinking and we're working, they have a tendency to develop tension. So try to resist that by lengthening through the neck. Good, let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the knee, extend the leg. Tap, extend. Inhale and exhale. Good. Full extensions. Really point through those toes. Don't get sloppy. Make every movement count. We've got 9, 8. I know it burns. Breathe through it. Last 5. Nice tight core. 3, 2, and 1. Hold it there. Lengthen, lengthen, and lift. 6, 5, 4. Relax it down. Oh my goodness. Amazing work with those leg lifts. Those were super challenging. I hope you're feeling it in that side booty area. For now, we're going to switch gears and start focusing on our upper body muscles. So I'm going to come into position for a plank. I'm going to position the wrists so they're below the shoulders and the knees are below the hips. From here, I really want to switch my core on. So drawing that abdominal wall up toward the ceiling, powering up through those shoulders. Now I'm going to step my right foot back, lengthening through that heel. Step my left foot back, lengthening through the heel, setting ourselves up with a really good, strong, high plank. Now I'm going to bring the left knee in, tapping left knee to left elbow for 2 and 3. Send it back and pike up into a downward dog, stretching and lengthening through the spine, lifting through the abdominal wall. Come forward, right knee to right elbow for 2, abs in, and 3, then pike it back, downward dog, good. Powering up through those shoulders for 1. On the left side, 2 and 3, sending it back, breathing as you do so. Right side, 1, 2, and 3, working that waistline as well as those arms and shoulders. Good, core is working here as well. And 3, send it back. Last set on this right side, 1, abs in, 2, and 3. Amazing work. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Widen the knees. Sink back into child's pose for 3 and 2 and 1. Amazing work. Now from here, we're going to position the wrists so they're below the shoulders. I'm going to lift my right leg up. I'm going to pulse that right leg up for 1, squeezing the glutes, 2, and 3. Hold it there. Lower into a tricep push-up, keeping the elbows in close toward the side of the body for 1, and 2, and 3. Good work. Lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, and then repeat. 1, 2, pushing up through the heels of the hands. Give it power and energy, and 3. Amazing. Lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, and lower, push up, lower, push up, lower, push up. Nicely done, lowering knee to the mat. Now let's repeat that on the opposite side. Stretch and lengthen through your left toes. Squeeze the bum as you lift. 2 and 3, hold, lower, push up, lower, pushing up through the heels of the hands, lower, and lift. Good. 1, 2, squeeze the bum. 3, push the mat away for 2 and 3. Last set. 1, squeeze those left glutes. 2 and 3, hold it there. Lower, push up through the heels of the hands, lengthen through the neck. Make every push-up count for 3. Nicely done. Now from here, we're going to lower down onto our forearms. Elbows below the shoulders, fingers are spread. We're going to step the right leg back into a low plank, left leg back, creating a nice flat line with the body. From here, we're going to lift the right leg with a flexed foot, lift the left leg with a flexed foot. Alternating sides. Good. Squeezing the bum, lengthening through the heel, tightening the core and powering up through those shoulders. We've got 5, 4, you can do it. 3, keep pressing the mat away up through those elbows. And 1, take the knees nice and wide and push back into a well-deserved child's pose. Breathing deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth for 3 and 2 and 1. Amazing work. Let's just roll out the shoulders for a moment here. Taking a couple of deep breaths. Nicely done. And let's lower down either onto our palms, or if your wrists need a bit of a rest, you can come down onto your forearms. I'm going to stay up on my palms here. I'm going to plug the navel in, position the knees so they're below the hips, and over to that right side, I'm going to extend the right leg out long. Hips are square with the mat. I'm going to lift that right leg up, point and lengthen through the toe. Tap the right leg across the left, and then up and over to the opposite corner of the mat. Rainbow taps for 2, 3, lift up and over, 4, and 5. Hold at the center and pulse up. Squeeze the glutes for 1. Point through the toes, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good work. Rainbow taps, 1, 2, really lift and squeeze that bum. And 4 and 5. Hold at the center and pulse up for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good work. Rainbow taps. 1. Tap and lift up and over. And 5, come to center, hold it there, pulse up for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good work. Drop down onto your forearms if you're not already there. Lift the leg an inch higher. Flex the foot, and we're going to pulse that heel up toward the ceiling. 20 pulses here to finish up on that right side. Lengthening through that heel, engaging the core. Good. Last 10, 9, 8. Relax your shoulders down away from your ears. 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Take your knees nice and wide. Stretch back into child's pose for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. We're going to repeat that on the opposite side. So I'd like you to come down onto your palms or your forearms, broaden across the shoulders, engage the core, extend through those left toes, square the hips with the mat, and cross over. Good. Rainbow taps. 2, 3, 4. Squeeze the bum with every lift. And 5. Come to center and pulse it up. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good work. Rainbow taps. 4. You're doing great. And 5. Squeeze the glutes and hold at the center. Pulse. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Last set of rainbow taps. 3 and 4. Last 5. Keep pushing the mat away and pulse up. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lower down onto those forearms. Extend the leg, lift it a bit higher, flex the foot, lengthen through the neck, and pulse that heel up toward the ceiling. Breathe through it. I know it's tough. You can do it. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax that knee down to the mat and sink back into child's pose. Stretching and lengthening through those fingers, lengthening through the tailbone. for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing work. Final move here. We're going back into ab mode for a moment to really make sure that we targeted our upper, lower, and central abs, as well as stretching the spine. So we're going to sit up nice and tall, extend the legs, curve back and hold. Now you can either come up, reach, stretch over from your C curve, or you can come all the way down to the mat. We're going to lift, reach, fold over and stretch. Lower down with control. Good. Lift, abs in, reach, lengthen and stretch. Contract those lower abs on your way down. Lift, reach, fold and lower. One vertebra at a time. Lift, reach, lengthen through those toward those toes, and then switch thighs on as you roll down. 2 more. Really stretch your spine and engage your core. Last one. Reach, fold over, take a hold of your calves, ankles, or feet, and stretch. Breathing deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth as you fold a little bit more deeply into your stretch. Moving into our cool down. Breathing deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's roll up and move ourselves down to the mat. We're going to cross the right leg over the left and hug that knee in toward the chest, stretching out the glutes. Draw that knee a little bit closer in toward the chest. Try to connect your lower back with the mat. Relax your shoulders and the muscles in your face as you stretch out those glutes and hips for 3 and 2 and 1. Switch the crossing of your legs. Interlace your hands behind your thigh and hug that knee in nice and close. Feeling that opening feeling in the hip and that stretching and lengthening of the glute. Shoulders relaxed, lower back pressing into the mat, feeling the stretch into the lumbar spine. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your legs together. Take your hands behind your thighs, roll up to a seated position. From here, we're going to move into a plank, and we're going to continue to stretch out the glutes and the thighs, as well as the abs as we press the mat away, folding that right leg under the body, lengthening that left leg out behind you. Gently extending the spine as you bring the gaze up. Deep inhale here, and exhale to fold over that bent leg, resting your head on your forearms, lengthening through the spine as you do so for 3 and 2 and 1. Come back up onto the palms, step back into plank. Bring the left leg under the body, lengthen back through those right toes. Press the mat away, gently extend the spine. Breathing deeply in through the nose and slowly out through the mouth. Fold over, resting head on your forearms. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come up. Bring the soles of the feet together. Sitting up really nice and tall as you butterfly those knees out to the sides. Stretching and lengthening through the spine, and then hinging forward from your hips. Taking your hands onto your thighs if you want to encourage them down toward the mat a little bit more. You should feel the stretch in your inner thighs, in those hips, Breathing for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift it up, cross your legs. Lift your arms up and circle them down and back. Lift up, lengthen through the fingers and circle the arms down and back. For 2, and final 1. Circle those arms, sweep the arms overhead, interlace your fingers, pressing your palms up toward the ceiling. Extend the spine, lifting the chin. Deep inhale. And exhale, float the arms down. Amazing work. We've completed the workout. You worked so hard. It was challenging. It was effective. You should feel strong and well stretched and very proud of yourself. Thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to moving again with you next time. If you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. See you soon.